I fond kiss and then we sever. I farewell and then forever. Deep in heart-wrung tears I'll pledge thee, warring sighs and groans I'll wage thee. Who shall say that fortune grieves him, while the star of hope she leaves him? Me nae cheerful twinkle lights me, dark despair around benights me.
Last year, the Vauxhall Vectra estate went to the big car park in the sky, which whilst was undoubtedly a sad moment after 11 years of service to the Knox family, it has brought an opportunity to get an even more glorious supercar. Now, when I buy a car, I have some very simple requirements. The car needs to be large enough to fit in my unnecessarily large number of children. The car needs a big boot, both to fit in my camera kit and the kids' stuff when we go on holiday. The car needs to have cruise control to help me maintain my full, clean driving licence with no penalty points in over 27 years. More important than all these factors, and the one thing that is non-negotiable, is I don't want to have to talk to a single human being about cars. When I bought the Vectra back in 2010, I bought it from Tesco's, which sounds weird, but there was a short period of time where they were acting as a second-hand car salesman. And what I liked about it is I just went online, picked a car, it turned up at my house, they said, "Do you want to keep it?" I went, "Yeah." And then I just had a car, I didn't really have to deal with anything. So this time round, because Tesco's don't do that anymore, I went to buy a car from Kazoo, which is kind of the same thing. When you buy a car second-hand from Kazoo, you just order it on the internet and it just turns up at your house. A man brings it along in a little van. And you've got a bit of security there because Kazoo boast that they do a 300-point test on the car to make sure it's the best possible car you could be getting. If I was Kazoo though, I'd do a 301-point test and make sure the last one is, does the car work? Because my kids wound down the windows and the car just died. So Kazoo picked the car up and took it off to car hospital, where it remained for 3 months while they waited on a part, because if you know, there's a big supply chain crisis going on at the minute. Anyway, took a while. But joking aside, Kazoo were pretty good. This isn't an ad for Kazoo, by the way. I'm just telling you what happened. It'd be a weird ad, considering the car didn't work. But they gave us a hire car while it was away. Gave us 400 quid, free service, extended warranty. They were just quite nice about it. So even though it would have been better if the car worked, I'll still use them again. That's an aside anyway. Let's get onto the car. Now there is one thing that does upset me though, and it's not about the car. It's that almost 50% of you watching these videos are not subscribed. So be a little legend and smash that sub button down there, right in its stupid face. Anyway, the car's come back from car hospital now, so it's time to unveil my new whip, the Vauxhall Insignia. So as you can see, I've gone for another absolute fanny wagon. You know what they say, once you go Vauxhall, you don't go back. So let me tell you what I like about the Insignia. So 2 cars ago, with my Ford Escort, I had a tape player, and the last car, the Vectra, was the first one I've had with a CD player. So to have all this technology at my fingertips is very exciting. I like that Waze, or whatever navigation device I want, will just connect up through Apple CarPlay. I like that I've got Spotify, I can listen to podcasts more easily without faff. I had a lot of faff before. I like all that stuff really. It's amazing how quickly technology's changed in cars. I remember doing some work probably about 10 years ago or something for Jaguar, and I was amazed that their car would like stop and start at traffic lights. Now my car does that, you know, the engine, that stop start thing. I'm amazed by it. Like, it's got a button to start, there's no key to turn or anything like that. I know for a lot of you this will be normal, but for me, I'm finding it quite exciting. No handbrake as well, which I find a little bit confusing. Not used to not having a handbrake. I mean, there is a handbrake, but it's not a pull the lever up one. I was a bit confused by it at first, but I quite like it. Sort of switch that you just flick to make your car handbrake come on. Really enjoy that. I also like the way the car drives. I know it's like a car person thing to say. I didn't really understand it before. I always thought people were talking nonsense when they said that, but it does feel quite playful, for want of a better word. I don't know, the Vectra felt a little more tanky, I guess. Like, it's a bit of an effort to turn, move it around, whereas this feels a lot more free-flowing, like I'm in control of it. One thing I didn't know existed till the other day is it's got some kind of alarm for when a person steps out in front of you. I was driving through Norwich the other day and someone ran across a crossing, but when there wasn't a green man sort of thing. So they were safe, they ran across, and I could have stopped in time, but because they were within a certain distance and I was going at a certain speed, this red light in front of me just started splashing, and the alarm went off, and I really like that. So if I did go mental and look like I'm about to mow someone down, the car will at least try and talk me out of it. It's also nice that the car doesn't smell. Like, the kids would say, oh, the old car, they didn't like it because it smelled, but the reason the car smelled was because they put like bananas in the back seat pocket, which would slowly fester over a period of months. And they'd moan the car smell. They're the reason. You're the reason, kids. It's your own actions. It's the consequence of your own actions. In terms of negatives, the Insignia's got the same one that all Vauxhall cars have, and that's just attention from women. I'm a happily married man, and you do, when you drive a Vauxhall, women are going to want to be with you. I mean, it's something we have to accept. It's in the manual. They warn you about this, but it's still a surprise. It is still a surprise. So now that I'm an Insignia driver, what's next? Well, the big excitement is that in order to get my skis to France, I'm going to have to get a roof rack and fit it, which is very exciting. A lot of cars just have space inside the car, but imagine having extra space on top of the car. The options are limitless. I mean, there's some limits. I could put my skis on the roof, that's it. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this insight into my sick new car. Back with some more content soon, including a video from my ski trip to Chamonix. So watch it if you like that sort of stuff. If you don't, watch something else. It's really simple, just how YouTube works. Bye.